Back in with Tom Turton, who is live at Hy-Vee this morning to see what's cooking. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Jeremy. Today, along with Maddie, we're going to talk about unmarried women.
Yeah. I am an unmarried woman, so that makes sense.
Myths, not myths, myths. Going to talk about some nutritional myths.
Yes, especially with summertime coming up too. Yes, absolutely. So a couple ones that I kind of want to go over, especially too with the summer months kind of coming in, and it's already getting so hot.
Yeah.
I literally cannot believe it. But I know, I'm like
Haven't
scared.
you lived here very long?
Well, yeah, but I don't remember it being this hot.
Everybody
this early
says that.
on.
Every year, everybody says that. But yes, it is warm and humid.
Yes, yes. So a couple things that kind of just wanted to go over today. Just a couple myths, especially that we hear as dietitians. So the first one that we typically hear, especially in the summertime, a lot of people crave fruit.
Yeah.
So fruit is kind of one of those staples, I feel like, especially in the summer. But you can,
that's awfully sweet, isn't it?
It is. And so I bet you can guess what people will sometimes tell me about fruit and it being too sweet sometimes.
Sugar.
Too much sugar.
Okay.
Bonus points for Tom.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
So,
I've listened before.
One of the summer myths that I feel like we're usually debunking is that fruit has too much sugar, which it doesn't. Usually with sugars, we're wanting to make sure we're focusing on not having as much added sugar. In fruit, it's naturally occurring.
That's why you go for natural fruit.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Rather
because
than
it avoids the syrups and things like that.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So fruit also too, outside of the sugar aspect, again, it's got the naturally occurring sugars. We're not worried about the added sugars here. Fruit is also a really great source of fiber.
I knew that.
You knew I was going to say that.
Yes,
There's other vitamins and minerals too. And even for hydration too, with the summer months coming in, like fruit is also very hydrating because a lot of it can be water-based.
Oh, you have one of these melons?
There you go. Yes.
Hydration.
Yes, exactly. So fruit, not too much sugar. We're not worried about the sugars in fruit because, again, they're naturally occurring. There's also a lot of other vitamins and minerals we need too.
I've heard many times, and you use this word, if you're going to think, you want to think along dietary needs and good practices, keep the word natural in what you're consuming.
Yes, yes. We're not necessarily with that piece, like we don't have to worry about all that added stuff. In it too. And then next one that I hear a lot in my office is, especially in the summertime, people crave big fat salads.
Yeah.
Like a salad is always a good way to go.
Yeah.
Yes. And so with that being said, that's totally okay. But I feel like a lot of times when people get a salad, it's just lettuce. So I kind of want to make sure we talk about ways to bulk up that salad so that way you're getting that good, healthy, balanced meal. So
okay, now I know you personally, you're not a big lettuce person.
I am not, yes.
And the reason why?
Because typically with like an iceberg lettuce, there's not any nutritional value. It's really just water.
You're just filling your stomach up.
Right. And if people do like want to have something like that, I'm like, pair it like with add broccoli or add spinach or add something like that.
Or fruit.
Yeah, or do something like that too, just to kind of bulk up the nutrition.
Okay.
But a couple other things that you can do too is adding some healthy fat sources. So adding things like walnuts, feta cheese. Making a dressing out of like an avocado oil or an extra virgin olive oil is a really good idea. And then we want to make sure we add that extra protein. So if you want to add in canned tuna, canned chicken, salmon, whatever you want to do, however we can get that in there.
Well, I know, I don't know if that transfers, but olive oil, it's very good for digestion too.
Yes, so the healthy fats do kind of help with that as well. And then lastly, obviously hydration. So I think when people think hydration, they think water, water, water.
I think you're right.
And honestly, that's not the case all the time. I want to make sure that people are getting a variety of sources of hydration. So liquid IV is a really good example. So especially if you're someone working outside in the summertime, that extra electrolytes can be helpful
Is that, I mean, I hear things like it's faster than, it hydrates more quickly. Is that true,
so
or is that, maybe?
It does have more of the electrolytes, but I would say a normal person like you or I, we don't need something like this. It's usually for people that are outside working
outside, athletes, things like that. Okay.
And then other things too, coconut water is really hydrating. If you're someone who doesn't like plain water, you could always do like a flavored as well. Or two, if you are someone you don't really like the taste of water, I do have some different options like an Olipop or
Does
like a
fizzy
Poppy.
Water work too?
Yes, any kind of like carbonation.
Okay. All right.
So with those, we really just want to make sure we don't have that added sugar.
That's why you talk to a dietitian right here at Hy-Vee. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Tom. All right, don't go anywhere. So much more fun coming up right after this.